are seated on the stigma crowning the ovary without a style. This is quite obviously an indecent plant, which then goes in the form of 4 to 20 rays, the capsule opening by pores under the persistent stigma imperfectly divided into cells. I'm referring the poppy plant to the Monash IVF program. It's obviously got a lot to teach all the various donors. Well, now, it then says the seeds are extremely numerous. It was well known to the ancients as a pleasant food. Some Germans sprinkle them plentifully on cakes. The seeds yield 30 to 40% or more of oil, and the oil cake is useful for manure or feeding cattle. And the oil is sometimes used by painters and soap boilers. They've obviously been going down Hotham Street, collecting all the poppy seeds, and the soap boilers in Hotham Street, Elmer Road and so on have been very busy. But other things happen. I was walking down Inkerman Street on my way here. I passed a very large new building, and I thought, isn't that a pleasant garden? I strolled into the garden and found underneath a clump of agapanthus these poppy seeds, real, genuine opium poppy seeds. Wave them around here. It's all a criminal offence. There's no judicial immunity. So much for Haman and all his terrible ill works. Here they are, growing in deepest, darkest Inkerman Street. How could they possibly be illegal or rendered illegal? As you know, or maybe you don't, when you're extracting the opiate from the poppy seed, you take the knife, which has been used on those with the mobile phones, and particularly when the sepals haven't fallen off, and you score the pod of the poppy seed thus. Why are you wincing, Greg? You're looking a bit... No, uncross your legs, Greg, it's all right. You just move this in that way, and then the oozing sap is used to make... The oozing sap is used to make the opium article. So indeed, you can see that poppy seeds and poppy growing is, in fact, ubiquitous. It occurs in St Kilda, where I live, hydroponically, or it's occurring in Inkerman Street unnaturally or secretively, but it does occur. Now, I need to tell you something else about poppy seed. It has an oil, and the oil is a wonderful product which, when grown in California, becomes Californian poppy, and you can see how effective it is in encouraging the fast removal of hair. I have a very special... You'll recognise this person. Everybody, you'll recognise this person. It's the Premier, Mr. Brack. He's here. He's here in shadow form. So, as I told you, that poppy seed oil is a wonderful product because it does, in fact, encourage hair growth. Now, I have here some of the wonderful poppy seed oil, which, don't worry, John, I'm not approaching you, which I am going to pour very gently over the skull of the recipient, and you will see that in 2 minutes it's grown a shaitel. So you can see that this product has absolutely everything going for it. I intend to wear it somewhere more masculinely, so I think that I'll be wearing it here from now on in order to become a somewhat more desirable creature. Now, poppy seed Not only does poppy seed do wonders for hair, it's also marvellous in biscuits and in happy biscuits. I don't know whether any of your children are having happy cookies at home, but every client in my court seems to find a diet of happy cookies is almost compulsory. And I can see the women from the Wheatsoe group in the back row, and I have a new task for all these Wheatsoe ladies sitting along the back here. It is to bake poppy seed cookies for the judges. Now you might think, what other matters or what other products come from this poppy which I tell you is so good? We do, of course, have Poppy Day, a rather tragic day in which we celebrate or use the poppy as a symbol. And then there is indeed poppycock. Now, I don't intend any pun when I say that this is largely a fallacy. I can see the literate amongst us have gathered the illusion. But, and there are several ladies looking puzzled. Well, I'm very glad of that. There's Len Levy in the back. He prescribes it from his chemist shop as a compulsory ingredient. But poppycock is a product well used by most members of the Parliament and regarded as compulsory in the judgments of most of my other brethren. It is a product which is pushed out into the wide world and is not to be diminished in any way. But now, worshipful brethren, I come to the real reason why poppies and poppy seed farming should be... What am I saying? Should be or should not be? Should be allowed? Why poppy seed farming should be allowed. And I can look around the audience here and I can see some various people who I'm now going to offend. That, of course, causes me great delight. Don't worry. There is one great poppy whom we could never cut down. Il Poppy in Rome. Il Poppy in Rome is a very important, as you would understand, person. But there is a connection with Purim. Because only the other day I was walking along Inkerman Street with one of my uncles and so on, who was dealing with his neighbour, a Catholic fellow, who'd recently had a new son, much to the delight of everyone. My uncle said, "Well, tell me, Joe, what do you plan for your boy?" He said, "Oh, well, I really expect him to become a father in Holy Church." And my uncle said, "Well, a father in Holy Church? A father? A mere that's not..." "Well, I think in time, given his background and the education I plan for him, he'll doubtless be made a bishop." "Oh, that's very good. But a bishop? A mere bishop? Surely something better than that." "Oh, well, I think that he may well become the second Australian cardinal." "Excellent. But a cardinal? A cardinal? That's really not what you would expect." "Well, to tell you the truth, I have no doubt that in time he will become the first Australian poppy." Very impressed, stood back for a moment and said, "What? The poppy? The poppy? Surely your family. What would you expect him to become? Jesus Christ himself? Certainly not. One of our boys managed that." So that the matter of the poppy seed, as you can see, is a product which brings great delight to the world. It is a symbol of our continuity, and I have a big secret to end on. Mordecai was a poppy farmer.
Now, of course, the most important part of the debate, of any debate, the adjudication. Judge Lewitton.
Mr Danos, Deputy Mayor, Ministers,